Hi, everybody. This is Adam Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are December's horoscopes. So this is the December horoscope for Pisces, and I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it. All right, there we go. So it's a big month for you, Pisces. You have big transits taking place in your home sign and in another angular house, which is the 10th. Everything's constellated in Sagittarius this month, and also making squares to every couple planets passing through your home sign of Pisces this month. So the 10th house, first house is really emphasized. These are angular houses, so more powerful. But before we do get into that, let's start with what's happening at the very beginning of this month, which is an opposition from Venus to Uranus. Now, that tones the very start of the month, coming as leftover from the transit between Venus and Uranus that perfected on November 30th. It's still really big. It's focused in your 8th and 2nd houses. These are houses that have to do with expectations about the future and events that are related to how the future is going to go or how the future is going to turn out. And those places are essentially also related to money and finances, sometimes your own money, sometimes a partner's money. They're about values and how value differences or conflicts may shape the future right now, with Venus, planet of love and relationships and harmony, in the 8th house of, say, other people's money, values, and resources, opposing Uranus and Aries in the 2nd, which is your own money and finances and resources. And so you may be at odds with someone else right now, seeking greater freedom, seeking greater independence, and struggling because you also want to keep the peace with someone that you love. So there's a back and forth between Venus and Uranus this month, and that's really at the, in some ways at the center of the month, even though it's only a brief transit happening at the beginning. It's very powerful, and it tones the month going forward. So you look for those kinds of, also Venus and Uranus together can, at any rate, can emphasize disruptions in relationships that are sort of challenging, and topics of the need for greater independence in relationships. But Venus in Libra likes harmony, likes to work together. So those things you're trying to work those things out right now. Now, meanwhile, all month long, the major transits are taking place again in Sagittarius. So check this out. You'll see the first, go back this way. You'll see the 1st and 2nd of the month. You're going to see transits in Sagittarius in the 10th house, making squares to Mars and Neptune in Pisces in the 1st. This intensifies quite a bit as we go forward. December 7th, you're going to see a new moon in Sagittarius in the 10th house, and you're going to see that making a square to Neptune and Mars in Pisces in the 1st. There it is again. And then going forward, the middle of the month's a little bit quieter. Get to about the 20th. Here we go, back it up. All right, get to about the 20th, and then you're going to see Mercury and Jupiter, 20th, 21st, coming into a conjunction in Sagittarius in your 10th house. And then by the 24th, just to, again, drive home the point here, you're going to see Mercury and Sagittarius making a square to Neptune and Pisces. So all month long, it's really the Sagittarius show in the 10th house and the Mars-Neptune show in the 1st house. So what can you expect from that? Well, the 10th house was traditionally the place of career, advancement, authority figures, promotion, growth, reputation in the world, action out in the world. The 1st house is self, health, identity, birth, new beginnings. It is the place where things appear, new things appear. So, right now, what we're talking about is challenges, tension between new things appearing in your life, or between your health and between your personal sense of self and your own need to individuate and be yourself, and some stress or challenges in the workplace. Jupiter's in your workplace this year. Look, it's a very good year for Pisceans in terms of just having your ruling planet, Jupiter, in your 10th place of career. Growth is ahead, you could say. Like the whole year long, there might be opportunities or expansion, or, there could be a new boss or something like that, where, you see Jupiter entering that 10th house in like last month in November, all the way to November of 2019, growth orientation in the workplace. However, where there is growth, sometimes there is also the tendency to get drained or to be overwhelmed or to take on too much. Mars Neptune in the first will sometimes make a martyr out of you. There's a kind of maybe a heroic energy right now, like you're the hero in the workplace, or you're being given more leadership or responsibility, or you're stepping forward in some way. That's great, but what cost does it come at, if any? Does it drain you? Are you having to sacrifice or compromise something of your integrity or your authenticity? The 10th house also can, just generally speaking, be about just being very busy and at the workplace. Well, there's nothing better than being busy, but it's also like, okay, we're busy. I got to go. You're in go mode, and it's draining. It's exhausting. Neptune, Mars in the first can be very draining and exhausting. On the other hand, self-sacrifice for the sake of something you believe in right now that you could succeed at is also sort of right there. So these are the main areas, though, in which you're seeing sort of tension throughout the month. And the tension could be very productive, or it could potentially be very challenging. Every situation's a little different. So, and oftentimes the things that are most challenging are the most productive, so to speak. All right, let's look at a few other things that are happening this month. One of the other big things that I've got my eye on is on December 20th, you're going to see the Sun in Sagittarius in your 10th house making a trine to Uranus and Aries in the 2nd house. This could be a moment of professional and financial breakthrough or innovation. I really like this as a moment of like being energized. Uranus is retrograde, so be careful of like the greatest idea in the world that'll make you rich or some great big breakthrough. It could still shift in the future with Uranus still needing to turn direct, or maybe something from the past is finally paying off and you're experiencing some growth in your career because of hard work you've put in the past. That could also be a possibility. I like it, though, for a moment of professional and potentially financial kind of growth and maybe even innovation or something like that. Then December 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right around that time, the sun goes through the winter solstice gateway, enters the 11th house of Capricorn. Full moon is going to happen across in the 5th house of Cancer on the 22nd. These two transits are brief, but they are important because they're highlighting the upcoming eclipses next month that will now be taking place in Cancer and Capricorn for the next year and a half, which means your 11th and 5th houses are about to get really lit up. What does that mean? Expect changes or transformation in your social life, in your relationships, in groups or organizations that you belong to, in terms of who your allies are or who you consider to be your friends or people who are like on your team in life. Similarly, if you have children, things could be really pronounced with children or pregnancy or your kids, or in the 5th house, your creative life, or just what you do for fun. We're going to spend more time looking at this next month for the eclipse in January, so this is just a little preview. But again, the winter solstice and the full moon on the 22nd are sort of previewing the emphasis that's to come in these two areas. So pretty exciting, and a lot to take in and think about. The 11th and 5th houses are really houses of good fortune and good spirit. But with eclipses coming in, you're thinking, okay, sometimes the good fortune and the good spirit comes, but they come through different kinds of transformation or loss or sort of challenges in life that are there. They're helping shape a positive future, but there's some challenges that are kind of part of the process. So we're going to talk more about that next month. All right. Well, I hope that you all have a very beautiful end of the year, all you Pisces out there. And I will look forward next time I see you for January's horoscope. It will be a new year. So happy holidays. Have a beautiful new year. Take care.